I am Kate Monroe, the CEO of VetComm, and VetComm's whole purpose is to make going to war with the VA less of a hassle. It's like there's sort of a minefield in between you and them, and we want to help you not get your leg blown off. You know, you're trying to go get the treasure, we have the treasure map. So what we do here is we're going to make your intent to file, we're going to make your claim with you in unison, we are going to prepare you for every single exam. And I think the biggest difference, but you know, a lot of people will say, and you might be watching me now going, well, I can do it myself, I can do it for free. Yes, you can, of course you can. Like, there's many ways to do it. You can do it at a law firm, you can do it standing on your head, however you want to do it. It just comes down to how fast do you want to win and how long do you want to take, how much hassle do you want, right? So law firms really only are going to help you if you're already denied, okay? The DAV, the American Legion, the VFW, all good people. We need as many people helping veterans as we can get, but the trouble is when you're accredited, you can't help people, you can't coach them, and they're really only supposed to make claims that are found in your records. So if you're watching me now, you might be thinking, well, I don't even have my records. I don't know what is in my record. If you have PTSD, pretty good likelihood it's not in your record. If you have anxiety, probably not in your record. If you had some major injury that would have stopped you from doing your job or got you discharged, probably not in your record. And we don't care at VetComm. We're going to rely on your memory, and we're going to help you put together your story and tell your story in a way that's going to make you win with the VA. And the coolest part is we don't charge any back pay. So everybody that's considered to be a shark, I don't feel like we should even be on the list, because we charge a teeny tiny little fee. We have 3 ways that you can pay, and you keep all of your back pay. And the coolest part is we guarantee results. So if we can't do what we say we can do, you're going to get your money back. And I don't know who else other than us would make that promise to you.
Well, that was a great explanation.
I feel like that was pretty good.
That was perfect. Trustin, also known as Rusty.
Hello, Rusty.
Working on my BDD. What if I don't get the rating that I want?
So there's 2 ways that you can participate with us. You could, while you're getting out of the service, start now. We have probably 25% of the people that we serve are still in. They're on their exit journey like you are. And we will help you make sure that you get everything memorialized. So when you sign up, we're going to have a strategy call, and we're going to get from you, hey, here's what I have in my record so far. We're going to take a look at it, and we're going to say, hey, do you have this or that or these other secondaries? Let's go get those memorialized. Let's make sure that our exit rating appointments go well, because our goal is to help you never have to come and see us as a veteran, right? If you exit properly, you should have won and boom, go on with your life. Once you become a veteran, if you only do part of it, like you sort of got a 5 out of 10 on your way out, now we got to go and fight them on a different front like we do with veterans. So you're totally able to sign up with us now if you want help in the exit. But if you don't even want our help, my best advice to you is go get everything memorialized properly so that you get the highest rating on the way out.
Sweet. Preach It Brother said,
Preach it.
I'm a vet.
Can you let in the dog?
Yes, I can.
Go ahead.
He said, I'm a vet that can't prove hearing loss through training with a 3-letter agency can't prove. So maybe you can give him some insight.
Okay. So a lot of times we have hearing loss, or we have, come here. Come on, let's say hi to our friends. Come up here. Come up, come up. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh, so cute.
Tiny service dog. Okay. So if you're trying to get hearing loss or tinnitus approved, it is harder than it used to be. It shouldn't be. It's like the lowest hanging fruit. I don't know why it's suddenly so hard. But rather than beat your head against a wall trying to get the hearing loss, why don't we pivot for a second and look at some other things that you could also get 10 to 20% for? Like almost every orthopedic's worth 10 or 20%. Depending on what you did in the military, there's a high likelihood you have at least a couple of orthopedics. Now, if you were working adjacent to one of these 3-letter services, we could probably make a pretty good claim for depression, anxiety, PTSD. There's a million things you could get rated for, and rather than focus on the teeny tiniest thing that you could possibly win and constantly feel defeated, why don't we put a pin in that one thing, make a strategy around it, but focus on some other areas of opportunity that you have.
Nice. Poor boy said he just signed up today. Congrats on that.
Hello there.
And he had his first meeting. Tomorrow is the follow-up, so just wanted to throw that in there. It's not really a question, but
good.
Saying good things.
Glad to have you aboard.
Chas, it might be Chas. Semperfi Kate, I heard a rumor that you left VetComm. Not true?
Well, I'm sitting in my office right here. I did not leave VetComm. I will tell you there was a hostile takeover attempt by our parent company that was thwarted through very decisive legal action. I will be the CEO of VetCom for the duration. I'm not just the CEO of VetCom, so that you can understand. I built VetCom from scratch myself with a team of people, so it wasn't like I was hired to be the CEO. It is my company. I will be the CEO, and we will prevail. So no worries there.
Kev Trooper 6, he's been in the live a couple times before.
Yep, I remember the name.
Said, VetCom client, we accomplished more for him in 2 weeks than the law firm did in years. So thank you for saying that.
I appreciate that.
Harold says, actually there's not really a question there. Harold just was introducing himself.
Hello, Harold.
Singleton's Style Station LLC, I'll give you a little shout out there, says that they're at 40% trying to get a higher rating.
You're at 40%. So we like to see every veteran get over 50%, because that's where a different benefit set clicks in. If you're retired, where you get to get concurrent pay. So if you're at 40%, the good news is you probably have a bunch of things that are underrated. So you probably have a bunch of 10s or one thing and a 10. Most 10s or zeros can be flipped to 20s pretty easily, moving the needle, even if you don't add anything new, from 40 to 60 very quickly. And then there's some things that you probably have not really thought of. I have to imagine, I could be wrong, but typically if somebody's at 40%, they probably haven't claimed anything that's mental health, like anxiety, depression, PTSD, or anything secondary to their other things. Like let's say that you have orthopedics and your back is hurt. Well, we can have our back, but we can also have radiculopathy and neuropathy. And our back can change our gait and hurt our knee and our ankle. So there's so many things that we want to, like a waterfall, like a domino effect, that we want to tether together to get that rating up. And that just takes a good strategy, putting in the claim correctly, preparing you for your exam. So if you're at 40%, the good news is you're not starting from zero. And in less than probably 4 months, you could be much, much higher rated. So if I were any of you in that same situation, you might want to leave a comment here, and somebody from the team will reach out to you. A lot of times they'll reach out possibly while we're still on the live here.
Awesome. Doc Rob says, I'm a Purple Heart recipient stuck at 80% and feel defeated.
Well, I can see how you feel defeated. I have met a lot of Purple Heart recipients, and it always is a wonder to me how you get to have a Purple Heart, but you're not at 100%. Like, I don't understand the rationale that the VA goes through, other than they just don't want to pay. A lot of times, if you have a Purple Heart, there's a correlating piece of PTSD, anxiety, or depression that are either not rated or are underrated. And if that's you, moving the needle, you probably, it might take you 2 jumps depending on what all of your ratings are. You might go from 80 to 90 pretty quick, and then from 90 to 100. Sometimes it's a 2-step journey depending on, but we have probably helped per capita more Purple Heart than anyone else. It's something that we actually focus on. In fact, we decided to support a young woman who was an Army veteran and the military makeover. I think that the episode comes out in March, next month. And she was a Purple Heart recipient at 90, and she's probably only 20, 30 days away from getting to 100%. So if you need that help and you're feeling defeated, give that defeat to me and to the team, and we'll get you across the line.
Awesome.
It is crap, though. I mean, if I'm being honest, it really pisses me off when I find veterans in this class that are not rated appropriately. It's very, it is disheartening.
Me too.
I agree.
Heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Brandon Wisco, it's also in the previous live, said, any deals if we sign up today? He's still waiting to receive a call about signing up.
That's so unlike us.
Yeah.
That is very unlike us. What is his name?
Brandon Wisco.
Brandon, what's the last name?
Wisco.
Wisco?
Yes, Brandon Wisco.
Wisco, okay. Tell him to send a message with his number, and I'll have somebody from the team give him a call now. But if you sign up today and you do the one-time payment, so I'll just give you, for transparency, what we cost. We are not a free organization, but we are nearly free. There's a one-time payment of $11.97. Our full price is $2,100, but if you pay up front, we give you a $900 discount. So it would be $11.97. If you purchase the $11.97 plan today, everyone who's watching the live will get $200 more off, going back to our old pricing of $9.97. If you don't have that cash up front, we have 2 payment plans. One is 3 payments of $500 or 6 payments of $350. But certainly, I will have somebody reach out to you when we get off the live. And if you want to sign up on the one-time payment, I'll give you $200 off more today. So it'll be $1,100 discount. That's a pretty good. Hey, wow. You don't bark at our friends. Y'all stop all your hufflepuffery and sit down.
El Guapo says.
El Guapo.
El Guapo.
El Guapo.
Says,
Do we got that good guapped hair? Like, what do we got? What do we got going on?
I don't see anything.
I don't know.
I don't know. Says he's been a VetCom client on the Gold plan since last June of 2024. It has been a very long process, but you guys have been there along the way thus far, assuring me that it's going well. I'm not really sure. I guess we can turn this into a question.
Yeah.
What can kind of decide whether it's going to be a
Long
quick,
or short?
less than 90 day
Yeah.
or a longer process?
Sometimes it's there's like a slinky with the VA. Sometimes they're like very slow and then very fast. Like for instance, we made a claim for somebody in December and they just got rated yesterday, like that fast. And a lot of it has to do with where you live in the country, how fast they're adjudicating claims in your region, like how fast the funnel is getting in to the raters. That's one thing. The other thing is if we submitted something for you that's a niche kind of ailment or disability, they could be taking longer to process it or trying to directly correlate it to service or making it a secondary of something else. If there's not a lot in your records, but they do believe what's going on when you go to see these rating doctors, it's probably gone to a higher level person to look at it. What I would suggest is get a comment from him or have him message us. Then I can have somebody on the claims team give you a plan so we can call the VA. But everybody on the call, if you want to write down the easiest number to remember when you want to call the VA and say, hey, bro, where's my money? 800-827-1000. Here at VetCom, we call that the 1000 number. That's like the catch-all. There's other numbers, but you can always remember that one, 800-827-1000. 800-827-1000. If you want to give them a call and say, hey, I'd sort of like to get paid, see what they say there. Now, in all fairness, I don't know when we made your claim in June, but it's been about 7 months, right? So it hasn't been, a full year. We get a little like, hey, it's been 6 months. They sort of should have paid you by now. So I would call that number today and then get with us and tell us what they say so we can make a strategy around it.
So real quick, Brandon said his last name is Martins. So,
Martins?
Martins, but the I is an E.
E-N-S.
Martins. Yes.
Like Doc Martens. Right?
Is that how that's spelled? I don't know.
I feel like it is. I'm going to Google it now.
So poor boy asks, do you get P&T right away, or do you have to go back and apply after you get 100% to get permanent total?
I would say if we get 100 people to 100%, 95 of them get P&T right off the bat. So what permanent total means is they take a look at your disabilities and they look at how long you've already had them, how old you are, and if there's a path to recovery for some of the larger bodied ones. If they look at, hey, you have 70% for PTSD, anxiety, depression, that's probably not going to go away if you've already had it 10, 20, 30 years. They don't see that getting better. So that's like, meh, that one's stuck. And then if your orthopedic stuff has already gone from like 10 to 20, it's like it's getting worse. They look at it as a whole and they go, is it really worth us taking our time to continually hey, stop it. Is it worth our time to keep reevaluating it? So a lot of the times the way that we layer in a claim, we like to put enough meat on the bone where it sticks. And we've had very good success getting people P&T right off the bat. But you do want to be P&T. So if there's people watching and you're 100% and you're not 100% P&T, message us and let's work on getting you to the P&T.
Jason here in the chat said, VetCom got me to 100 P&T. I recommend.
Good.
Awesome. Congrats on that.
Good. Love that. Pushy. Tell him congratulations. Yes, good job.
Okay, let's see. I don't know how to pronounce this. K-Wrider. That's the best I can do.
Good enough.
Said, I'm at 40%, need to get to 100%, waiting on my taxes to get your guys' assistance. So, not really a question there, but just we'll make sure that we get to him.
I would tell you, if you can either go make an intent to file yourself now so you're stacking up back pay, not waiting, I would get going on that. If you have the $350 to start now, keep in mind you could be rated in 4 months or less. So if you can get that money from somebody to get started just so you're getting paid faster, that's, always an option. But we're certainly here whenever you get your refund if that's when you want to start.
America69 said, so we have to pay before we know if we get rated or not?
Correct. And so when we first started VetCom, to give you a little bit of a backstory, we actually started VetCom thinking we would be a charity. We actually made our entire workbook and videos and everything. We thought we were just going to give this to the veteran universe and let them go get rated themselves, not trying to, do anything. I just, as a gift. And if you could guess how many people signed up when it was for free? 0, not a single one. And then I had to ask myself, well, there's the DAV for free, the VFW for free, the Legion for free, and people aren't doing it for free. So it comes down to, like, sometimes you go to the gym, and if you don't get a trainer, you don't show up because you have no accountability. You have nothing forcing your hand to keep you in the game. So then we said, what could we charge that would be fair, especially if we're willing to offer a money-back guarantee. So our guarantee is if we can't get you rated or rated for more, you get your money back. So we feel like when you pay us up front, now you paid for the service, so you get to bother us as much as you want. And as a veteran, I know I have a little bit of that veteran anxiety. You're going to have questions. You're going to talk to us 20 to 40 times while you're in our program. You're going to say, hey, I got this piece of mail. What is it? Who do I call for this? Hey, I got a CMP exam. And you're going to want to have somebody answer the phone all the time. We have 100 people that are dedicated to answering your emails, phone calls, text messages. So you're really paying for a high level of service, very little money. So it's at no risk to you, but it does force you to stay in the plan and go to your appointments and show up because you paid for it. So now you're like, well, I'm not going to waste my money. I'm going to finish it. So that was sort of the psychology as to why we put this together the way we did. You will not pay one lick of back pay. So you got to ask yourself, do I want to go with the firm who's going to send me an email and tell me how to make my own claim and then scoop up to $15,000 from me for doing nothing? Or do I want to pay $11.97 or one of our payment plans and be assured to win and have concierge level, hassle-free, whenever you want to talk to us 12 hours a day type of service? So that's, there's a whole menu of ways you can get rated. This is just the way that we set forth for you. That we found for the 10,000 veterans we helped last year was very successful.
That was a perfect explanation. Wrap that up perfectly. Newell asks, what should I have ready before I make my first phone call to VetCom?
To make your first phone call, just have a phone and call. I mean, that's your first step. Call, get enrolled in the system. They're going to make you your first appointment with your pre-claim specialist. They're going to make sure that you can use Zoom. If you can't, they're going to show you how. They're going to help you get logged into va.gov on your side. They're going to make your intent to file. So you don't need anything to do that part at all. We do have a video series and a little workbook. Some people like to use it if they've never made a claim to sort of put their thoughts together before they make their claim. It's not a have to do it. We suggest people do it. It's helpful. And then you're going to get on with your claim specialist. So if you have already some evidence, go ahead and start stacking it up. Get that evidence ready. If you have no evidence at all, that doesn't mean you can't make a claim. Some people think, well, I got to get my medical record. You're requesting the medical record from the VA. They already have it. That's where it's coming from. So if you've been waiting around for this elusive medical record, if you have a memory of what's in that record, we don't need it. If you have new evidence since being out of service and you have that stuff, by all means, bring it. But you don't have to, this is not an all or nothing. We don't have to have this perfectionism that makes us have everything perfect before we start. We will help you get the things that you need and get your ducks in a row and make that claim for you. So I would just get started, I guess is the correct answer. And do it now.
D. Gomez asks, how does the back pay work? Is it only for new claims or do you get back pay for older claims? Do you get back pay for older claims? But
so
just
basically,
asking how back pay works.
So let's say that today you signed up. Within a couple of days, we're going to make your intent to file. We're telling the VA, hey, I intend to file a claim and I would like to be paid back to the date that I did the intent to file. So let's say that today you made an intent to file and it took 4 or 5 months in order to get approved and you were owed, say, $2,000 a month. You'd be owed 3 payments, not 4. You'd be owed 3 payments of that $2,000 plus the money going forward. If it took 6 months, if it took 9 months, a year, however much that monthly payment is stacked up except for one payment. The month you make it in, you don't get paid for that month. That's how back pay works. So we've had people that had an intent to file a year before they came to us, and they found us and went, my intent to file, goes away next week. Shit, I got to make this claim. And they end up getting massive back pay because it took 4 months from the time we made the claim, but they already had a year of back pay, and they'll get a $50,000 check, and they're thinking that's a pretty good deal. So back pay really works from whatever your intent to file date is. That's when you start stacking money up.
Awesome.
On a new claim or a re-rating, works the same.
So Dustin Haney says, been gold since June, been with the program, had a physical in November. You guys have been great, but should I be worried?
No, you should definitely not be worried. Anytime the VA goes through a transition of power, we had an election cycle, we had new administration take over, there's always going to be a weird little slack in the line in that 2 or 3 months. Now, if you are worried, which you shouldn't be worried at all, November was 5 minutes ago, I would guess by the end of this month, early next month, your claim will be adjudicated. But if you have that veteran anxiety, like 99% of us do, call 1-800-827-1000 and just get a checkup from the neck up and say, hey guys, how's it going with my claim? And that person should be able to tell you, around where it's sitting.
Kendra Tarn asks, does your fee include subsequent secondary claims?
So there's 2 ways to make claims. If there's an easy correlation from a primary to a secondary, if this is what you meant, you might have meant second claim, so I'll address both. Sometimes we'll make a primary claim and a secondary claim at the same time if they're very easily tied together. But if they're not very easily tied together, we may say, hey, this is all your low-hanging fruit. These are the 5 or 6 things we think you can win right now. Let's get those done. If we get those done and you win and you go from 0 to 70, all of your next rounds are only $500. So you can do as many rounds as you want with us for all the next rounds for $500. And most people are happy to do it because we gave them good service. They already won, and we're offering them a massive discount to just continue in the process. And I hope that answered your question. Some people will go through our process and they'll be so stoked to get the 60, 70, 80, and that's all they wanted, and they walk off into the sun. Some people want and believe that they should be at 100, and they may go that next round. Now, if you start with us and we don't get you anything, we owe you 2 more rounds anyway on us. So if after those 3 rounds we can't win for you, and we're going to go to about 3 times for the same fee, we're going to give you your money back. So we're going to do 3 rounds and potentially have to give you your money back. So we take pretty serious what we do, because we don't want to do 3 rounds on us and have to give you money back. We want you to win, because then we win. So that's why we're in it together. I think that's why our model works so well.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Justin Nixon asks, how long does a priority processing claim normally take?
If you submit a fully developed claim, the average in our system is 4 months, but that's not to say it doesn't take 9 months or 1 month. It kind of depends on the time of year the claim was made, what region you are in the country, and what body of claims you made, where your records burned. There's so many things to look at when we're looking at a timeline for a veteran. I would say that the younger the veteran is, the faster that it goes. I would also say that if you're claiming PTSD, especially if it's combat PTSD or MST, you get rated pretty fast. They have a tendency to prioritize mental health over other disabilities. So if we've submitted mental health along with some other claims, you might see that you might get adjudicated a little faster than someone else. But again, there's 100 factors that go into it.
Jesse asks, do you guys help with BDD claims?
We do. So right when I got on, another person asked a similar question. So about 25% of the people that participate with VetComm are people who are in their BDD claim. You're on your exit. And I would say this, and I want to give a little plug here. If there's anybody on this call, you included, that have 6 months or left remaining and you want to use the Skillbridge program, use VetComm's Skillbridge program. We have an amazing Skillbridge program. We hire every single person, and you get to learn how to make claims for other veterans while you work here, get to actively do the work that we do. And when you transition out, boom, you have a job no matter where you live in the country, a very good paying job. But I would say if you are transitioning, people like to come to us to get their strategy call, to go through what you have memorialized, what you have left to memorialize, things you might not have ever thought of. You might say, I have some jaw pain, my stomach hurts, and you might not know that these are things that are maybe stress related, packed actor, or whatever it is. There's so many things that we can help you do, because the goal is that you exit the service at the highest rating possible. So we definitely help people that are on their exit out of the service.
Gotcha.
And we got about time for about two more questions.
Two more questions?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tammy Barlett asks, fee question mark. So
yes.
I guess for everybody here, let's just remind them of...
we'll go back through our fee schedule one more time. I appreciate you joining us, even if you're late to the party. Glad to have you here. So there's 3 ways in which to pay us. I'm going to address thing number 1 first. We are not free. We are not the DAV, American Legion, VFW. We provide a wholly different type of service, and because we have a different relationship with the VA, we're allowed to coach you. We're allowed to help you make really good claims and make sure that you win more than just your tinnitus. We want to make sure that we make all the claims. So we are not free. We are also not one of the law firms. We do not charge any back pay. We don't take $1. And anybody hoodwinking you, where you're thinking, well, it's free to sign up and then I'll pay later if I win. Yeah, you're going to pay $15,000 for something I'm willing to do 10 times better for $11.97. Does that seem fair to you? So you can pay $11.97 once, which represents a $900 discount, because our fee really is $2,100. But if you pay all up front, we get it to you for $11.97 today only. If I write down your name here and you're trying to sign up, we will give you an extra $200 off, bringing it down to $9.97. If you don't have that money today, we have 3 payments of $500 or 6 payments of $350. But we do have a fee, and here's the rationale. We want you to be able to hold us accountable. We want you to be able to call us 12 hours a day to ask us questions. We don't want you to feel like you're a number on a stack of paper on someone's desk that's never going to call you back. We have 100 people in 11 states. We serve every time zone around the globe. We have people doing their BDD claims in Japan, in Germany, all around the world that we're talking to. We even will talk to you on WhatsApp. So we're providing a different level of service. We're not everybody's cup of tea, but I guess not everybody drinks tea. So hopefully that answered your question.
So yeah, one more question, and then there's one person we gotta keep in mind here to reach out to, because you said reached out, still haven't heard back from us, which is very unlike us. Sanchez for Congress. Also, D Gomez said sign me up. Where do I sign up? So he's excited to get started.
Let's get
yes,
message us so I can have
Sanchez for Congress. Yeah, if you DM us and send us your info.
Are you running for Congress?
It looks like it.
I ran for Congress.
It looks like it.
It's no easy feat. Kudos to you. No matter what side of the aisle you are on, it is not easy business being in politics.
Yes. And we got some other good questions. You can pick which one to answer here. Are you guys hiring?
You're going to put me on the spot?
Yes, you can answer.
Wow. Yes, we're hiring. We're hiring veterans. And we're hiring Skillbridge.
Okay,
yes.
Sanchez for Congress is running for Congress in 2026.
Nice.
So that's awesome.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Keep going. It's hard.
Gunny Professor asks, or says, I take it you're accredited with the OC or OJC.
No, we are not accredited. And here's why
is that?
Yeah, here's why we're not accredited. So when you're accredited, think of it as being married to the VA. So we could get accredited. The American Legion is the accrediting body here. We could get accredited. But then we would have to order your medical record and take a year to get it. We would be bound to, for the most part, make claims that are in your medical record, and we couldn't coach you. Our entire philosophy is, what happened to you in the service, whether you memorialize it or not. It's our job to deliver those things to the VA, and it's our job to coach you, and not coach you in a disingenuous manner. Our job is to make sure you know the 3 main things that you have to achieve in that meeting, who this doctor really is to you. They're an insurance adjuster, especially if you're going for mental health, that you don't walk in talking about your childhood or your horrible divorce, that you confine all of your speech and everything you're talking about to service. So we made all of us, all the leadership at the company, took a look at it and said, I don't know if what's best for veterans is that we can't make a full-bodied claim and prepare them. Like, in my heart, as a person who took 11 years to get myself to 100% just by trial and error before I ever even started this, if I had only ever went the accredited way, I wouldn't be at 100%. I would have never I was assaulted as a virgin in the Marine Corps. No one would have made that claim for me. nobody would have made that claim for me. I ended up having to make the claim for myself, and I won. So that should tell you many of you are going to these free services that are accredited, and while they will get you rated, they will not get you rated for every single thing that you want. So it's a matter of choice. If you want to go the accredited way, God bless you. We wish everybody the best of luck. But if what you want to do is win all of your claims and get that higher level percentage and do what's good for you and your family for the long haul and do it quickly, then we're your people.
Great answer there. Yeah, someone said, you have to be accredited. LMAO, that's a lawsuit waiting to happen.
Well, if you saw the way that
if
you saw the way that we make our claims, you would realize why that is not the truth. So there's legislation out right now, the PLUS Act and the GUARD Act, two very different acts. I go to DC and lobby. Neither of these are on the menu. And right now there's basically a stay on people helping people get their claims. So right now, nothing's going to happen with it. But I would say this, we don't make, like a VSO, these paper claims. We don't make claims that way. You will log into va.gov with us on Zoom. You'll log in on your side. We will make the claim with you. We will make your claim with you. It's you that's making the claim. And that's why our stuff moves so fast. We're going to do a fully developed claim. You are going to make your claim. The second you have representation, you go into a different stack. It takes almost twice as long. It's you that needs to make the claim. It's you that has the memory. It's you that has to go to the doctor. We're going to help you make your claim successfully and help you win when you go to your doctor's appointment. So that's just absolutely not the truth. We spent a lot of money, a lot of time whittling down what exactly we do here. And what we actually charge for the prep and our program. We make the claim. We have 40 people here that make claims. That's not the part we charge for. We charge for the prep. Anybody can make your claim. You can make your claim, beep, beep, make your claim. That doesn't mean you're going to win. How you win is through our prep. That's what we charge for.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, Sanchez for Congress again said he sent his info, so we'll make sure and get to that. Do we have time for any more questions, or are we?
I don't. I have to roll, but we're going to start trying to do these once or twice a week. So stay tuned.
And if anybody has any questions, just DM us, and our customer service will get back to you.
Correct. And I'll when we get off, I'll tell them, hey, there might be some people in the chat that they need to attend to.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, guys.
I think that
have a great day. Good luck.